Happy Wednesday to everybody. This is Mornings with Michael for informational and educational purposes only. Hope everybody is having a great week so far. Let's look at our heat map. Our leaders continue to lead. Apple and Microsoft are not, they're kind of okay, but NVIDIA, Meta, and Lilly continue to lead. Energy is down a little over here. Real estate is up. So let's look at our heat map. It's kind of a mixed bag with financials and financial companies over here. So that's the story there. I forgot to share the screen. So let me just give you a quick overview. Here it is. What we were just talking about. Once again, here's our shot of personal pension or annuity. Once it goes up, does not come down. Do not risk losing money. Beats the index's average annual growth by about 5%. How do they do this? They give you a large bonus. Currently, they're offering between 40 and 45% bonus on any new money put into an annuity. Indexes bob and weave, and you're able to sleep better at night. So that's that news. Let's bring up our screen here. Kava Group. What are they doing today? We had the news from Kramer where that closed. It did pop up earlier and got rejected at the 20-day moving average. So let's move on. Let's look at our dollar index. Dollar index is trying to stabilize here, moved up higher, pulled back, bounced off its 20-day moving average. Gold had popped, and it continues to gap up. Pretty interesting. And silver continues to pop as well. It's up, gapping up. And let's Arrow Copper is down. Southern Copper is down as well. And Freeport-McMoRan is down slightly. Looks like it bounced off of its declining 10-day moving average. So let's go to look at bonds. I believe they continue to retreat. Yes, they bounced off of their 20-day moving average. Got another gap down. Will they fill these gaps? That's just the question. We'll have to keep an eye on that. 20-year Treasury yield is down under 4. Gap down to its 20-day and did not bounce. So that helps our stock index. Look at the VIX. Should be retreating as well. Continues to retreat. See if it'll fall to its 50-day moving average. Here's our equal weighted S&P 500. Not much move there. And here's the S&P 500. Looks very similar there. Wouldn't be surprised if there would be a slight pullback on any of these indexes. The NASDAQ is up 5.6%. IWM was really the biggest mover so far, and it's down slightly, 0.23%. And the Dow Jones is pausing. It's pretty flat. So let's go take a look at our news. Birkenstock Holding priced the U.S. initial public offering IPO. It's not going to come. Oh, it is up today. It's down 12% from the offering. Indicated price range of $46 per share, right up here. And it looks like it's closing at 40. Real Good Foods cuts fourth quarter revenue view to 65 to 72 from 70 to 77, and is gapping down 26.13% today, 148% increase in volume, and pretty much matches what we saw yesterday. Stellantis and Samsung SDI Company Limited plan to build a second U.S. battery manufacturing facility, the company said Wednesday. And with that, Stellantis stock is gapping up 3.5%. On to energy, industrials, and materials. ExxonMobil has agreed to acquire Pioneer Natural Resources for $253 per share. And XOM, maybe I didn't type it in, is gapping down today on that news. And let's see what Pioneer is doing. It's moving up about 1.4%. AZZ reports quarter two adjusted EPS $1.27 versus $1.08, and it's gapping up, and it's right about in the middle of the range, up 5.6% today. Northern Oil and Gas announces offering of 6.5 million shares of common stock, and it's gapping down because people don't like to be diluted with their holdings. Simpson Manufacturing, how does the share offering dilute you? Well, there's more shares in the company, so the value you paid goes down. And people tend to not like that. Simpson Manufacturing, down 1.03, said Wednesday it was the subject of a cybersecurity incident on Tuesday that disrupted its IT infrastructure applications. On to financials, AllianceBernstein, AB, preliminary assets under management decreased to $669 billion during September 2023 from $694 billion at the end of August. And they're down slightly, but pretty flat. But they continue to ride lower. Artisan Partners Asset Management, preliminary assets under management as of September 30th, 2023, a total of $136.5 million, slightly down. Artisan and Artisan Global Funds accounted for $66.6 billion of total assets under management. Franklin Resources, I guess we're looking at a lot of assets under management. Preliminary month-end assets under management of $1.37 trillion, September 2023, compared to $1.42 trillion in August. Invesco, preliminary month-end assets under management, $487.3 billion, a decrease of 2.6% from the previous month end. Victory Capital reported assets under management of $153.5 billion, down about 5 billion from the previous month. Finally, in the financials, BRTS, preliminary assets under management, 162.5 billion. A decrease from June 2023 primarily reflects depreciation and net outflows in open-end funds, institutional accounts. On to healthcare. Novo Nordisk, which is up significantly. We've been saying that this has been in the news. Been up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 days. Announced a decision to stop kidney outcomes trial flow effective semaglutide versus placebo on the progression of renal impairment in people with type 2 diabetes and chronic kidney disease, based on recommendation from independent data monitoring committee, concluding that the results from the interim analysis met certain pre-specified criteria for stopping the trial early for efficacy. Dialysis companies, DaVita, up. If I could just type. FMS shares are gapping down. Lower after NVO weight loss drug Ozempic showed early success in a trial to treat kidney failure in diabetes patients. NVO said it will stop the kidney outcomes trial almost a year ahead of schedule based on recommendation from independent study monitoring board overseeing the study. Silk shares gap down about 50% after lowering its full year revenue outlook 170 million to 174 from the previous 180 to 184 million. And finally, in technology, media, and telecom, Samsung Electronics said it sees Q3 operating profit to fall 17%, also down 50%. Aren't you glad you're not a holder of this loser? But it's down so much, maybe we should buy. And then look what happened. Yes, the trend is not your friend here unless you're shorting this stock or buying puts on it. HP Incorporated guided full year 24 adjusted EPS 325 to 365 versus estimate of 347. They're up 1.5% today. Some pretty good volume. And E2 Open Parent Holdings cuts its full year forecast revenue for 2024 view to 625 to 635 from 655 to 670, and their shares are gapping down. I guess a 50% number is pretty, keeps coming up and up and up. So that's the story there. And let's see where the big money is flowing today. Just be a moment till I bring it back up. Meta was on the list in the morning. Here's NVO with a weight loss drug. Once again, we've had some pretty good buying here. of the blue areas, and massive buying here today on the weight loss drug, gapping up and ending on its high, which is very positive. So, the figure, as long as it doesn't undertake its low for the gap up day, this is one to hold on to. Let's take a look at Meta first. Closes up higher again, up 1.79%. I had focused this over here. Anybody can draw a more crooked line than I can. Stayed in this range, very tight formation. Every time it came down, somebody was over there to buy it up. We can see on this day right here. And said that this would, once the bond yields dropped off, that this stock would kind of race up here. Right now it's in the blue pivot area, 327.80. There's possibility it may pull back some, develop a handle, or just go straight up. As we can see, the relative strength is at a high. Just draw a line here. Versus the line is at a high from the S&P 500. See if we can open this panel. I guess it's not working at the moment. Let me share our other screen. Well, this is just the one we just did share. There's Weatherford. What did Weatherford do today? Weatherford is up again today. Had a little bit of a consolidation, and with everything, let's just take a look at a few ETFs. Since we got oil on the brain. There's a market close. I'm not sure why this is not functioning. We'll see if this doesn't work for us now. So this is the U.S. oil fund. Continue to sell off, tried to bounce back, but it is below its 50-day moving average. Look at our semiconductor grouping, ETF. Continues to go up. It's up now above its 50-day moving average. Our financials are up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. And now the technology sector, strong bounce here. definitely above the 50-day moving average. We'll just see if it can get up to the blue pivot area, see if we have a pullback. There's our software sector. No, this is financial services. Let me go back to our handy notes. I believe it's IGV. There's no Y in there. And here's our software. Up again today. Volume is a little lacking. Metals and mining. Pretty flat. And home builders continue to improve as the yield backs off. Building materials and backing off as well. So there we have that. Those are the ones we're just going to look at. We'll look at our biotechs are down. Now we got just missed a call now. We'll get back to them a little later. And let's continue with what was big money moving. Continues in our brokerage platform in China. Is up big early and then sold off. This was slightly bearish. Pretty big volume. Nutanix is up big today. Cloud platform, software, helps with virtualization, all in one integrated solution. Eli Lilly continues to lead the health area. Definitely is breaking out of a cup pattern. Whether we get a slight pullback and develop a handle over here is another question. But huge volume. 1, 2, 4 days in a row. Only one or 2 days of strong selling. And Eli Lilly continues to lead. Modine, manufacturers of thermal management systems for automobile OEMs and building, industrial, and refrigeration, broke out today. It tried to break out yesterday, pulled back, and huge volume today. It's relative strength line, reaching new highs. So a lot of good things going on. A lot of 2024 expected 48% earnings growth and 17% in 2025. We continue down our list. Novartis in the biotech space, working trying to get a breakout. Remember we said these breakouts tend to need 3 attempts. There's 1, there's 2, and will this third one be the lucky charm? PSN, Parsons, defense intelligence and critical infrastructure markets. Looks like it's trying to break out. Not sure if we looked at infrastructure. Infrastructure is moving up. 1, 2, 4 days in a row. PSN. Relative strength line breaks out as well. The new high. Pretty good volume. Earnings 25% this year, 14% next year. NetEase. Big volume, gapping up 2 days in a row. Relative strength at a new high. Pretty good volume over here. I think this is Progressive. It is. Working on a long, big consolidation. Maybe a cup with a handle. We just don't know yet. 305% earnings increase this year, 57% next year. Who can't like that? And finally, Okta Security Technology, up 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Let's look at a couple of the others that we have been looking at. Zscaler continues to be up, although volume seems to be dropping. And Crowd is the other one. Strong move again today. Volume is a little down, but it's up to 188. This is one we had been looking at. Had a pretty strong move yesterday. Pulled back slightly today. And it looks like it's working on the right side of its cup formation. We'll continue to look back on this. Yeah, I just wanted to cover. Not sure if we're going to run out of time here, but shrink was a big headwind for a lot of retailers, according to Investors Business Daily, the second quarter, causing many of them to experience greater gross margin pressure than expected. Joe Feldman, Senior Managing Director of Telsey Advisory Group, said, anyway you slice it, shrink did flare up, and its retail theft losses swelled to $112.1 billion, up 19% from 93 billion. Let's look at a few of the shares. Dick's Sporting Goods, big downdraft, big sell-off here. It is up last couple of days. Target, also has a big headache with, you can see how much Target is down. Gap Store, some of these places have been laying off part-time workers just because of the losses have started to pile up, and they're not making as good enough money to keep them on board. Home Depot is off big. So in 2020, retail losses were 1.6%, 1.4% increase in 2021, and another 1.6% increase in 2022. They're at historical highs, CEO Eric Nordstrom said in August earnings call. Target sees 120% increase in thefts. This is why their stock is down so much. CEO Brian Cornell said organized crime are growing problems. Said it saw a 120% increase in theft incidents involving violence or threats of violence during the first 5 months of 2023. Can take a look at Kohl's. Yeah, they have a big problem there as well. Dollar Tree. Look at that huge downturn. And we've heard the news that's spurring closures in San Francisco, Portland, Oakland. So in other cities around the country, there is a big problem with it. And we can look at a couple others here in the retail space. Foot Locker, big sell-off there. So here's the top 6, 7 spots. Los Angeles, #1, San Francisco, Oakland, Houston, New York, Seattle, Atlanta, Sacramento, California, and Chicago is #8. And Denver, Miami, Albuquerque, New Mexico round out the top 11 cities. So there we have it. A look at retail crime is having an effect on these companies' stocks, and we need some political will to improve this and protect these stores and the employees that work there. So that's our show for today. Thanks for joining Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Continue going out there, working on your goals and your activities. If you have any financial goals we can help you with, please reach out to us. Everybody have a great day.